Well, we're all finding more ways than ever to stay connected. Mobile game maker Zynga is heading up a new initiative to help people play apart together.
Mobile game company Zynga began an initiative, Play Apart Together, just days ago to share the World Health Organization's COVID-19 messaging with gaming audiences around the world. Now more than 50 big names, including Facebook and Amazon, have joined the movement.
It's incredibly inspiring to see so many game teams come together with so much speed and passion around promoting a message that we hope can help flatten the curve.
By bringing this messaging into the world's most popular games, Play Apart Together encourages users to adopt physical distancing and other best practices.
For Facebook Gaming, we have over 700 million people that are active every month. They're talking about games, they're sharing information about games, and what makes Play Apart Together so exciting is the fact that we can send that message to this entire community so we can all heal the world together.
With more than 1 billion people around the world playing games every day and more companies rapidly joining the initiative, all hope Play Apart Together has